Since you've built autonomous trucks, Waymo potentially restarts a program. What goes into building an autonomous truck, and what are the key partnerships that you need in order to make that practical?
As an autonomy developer, it's important to understand what actually goes into this, the partnerships that are required, the various interests that come to play together. It's critical to have an OEM partner that you can build a relationship with, because the fleets won't buy long term won't buy trucks that are retrofit. They want factory built trucks. They want warranty support. They want the ability to resell their trucks at their end of life. So the OEMs understand this, and the OEMs have their own interests. They don't need to be first in autonomy necessarily. They want to maintain their brand reputation. They want to maintain their relationships with customers, and that's hugely important to them. And as an autonomy provider, it's important to be sensitive to that and not to try to drive too quickly to get them to do things that they are uncomfortable doing. So it's important to understand what their first principles are and to play the game with that in mind, to build a relationship that respects that. Part of doing that technically is building a supply chain that you can depend on to build a large volume of trucks. And that means that the supply chain, you need to build your sensor hardware, your mounting, the actuation components, the computers. This all needs to eventually be effectively owned by the factory. The factory needs to be able to call up someone like Continental and say, give me 1,000 parts this year, or 10,000. So it's important that that is all understood, and that those supply chains are on board. And those tier one suppliers are also hugely important. So you've got the braking suppliers, the steering actuator suppliers. And for all of those, it's important to understand their concerns. And principally, they'll be concerned about volumes. Are they going to be able to make enough of these to make financial sense? And liability. Are they going to be in a position where if something unfortunate happens with a vehicle, that they're going to be sued? So they want those issues resolved. It's important to deal with all of those. But finally, it's important that all of those players in the partnership are bought into the safety case. And that needs to be addressed, taking into full account the underlying platform, the components that are supplied into that platform, and in the autonomy stack and the system as a whole. It needs to be treated fully as a system. Every element of that needs to be considered. And if the OEM is not bought into that, then you're going to struggle to get to a point of production. And that may show up as part of what's going on with what we've seen in the past week.